Hi, this is Matt with AppliancePartsPros.com. Today we'll be showing you how to repair your appliance. Remember, anytime you work on an appliance, make sure it's unplugged or the circuit breakers are off so there's no chance of electrocution. Also make sure you turn off your hot and cold water supplies. In this video we're going to show you how to change out the LG washer or rotor position sensor switch. It's going to be a very easy repair and it'll only take a few minutes to show you how to do it. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can click on the link below or get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. When you open up the package, you're going to get the new rotor position sensor switch. The rotor position sensor switch is what tells the washer where the rotor is. The main reason you'd be changing it out is if you're getting an LE error code and the washer isn't running right. To get to the part, we have to remove this access panel. It's held in by 4 Phillips screws, which we're going to take out to take the panel off. Now that you have those screws out, we can take the panel off. Now we can take out this bolt. It's a 17mm socket, so we're going to use a ratchet. When you turn it, it's going to try to turn the whole motor rotor. You can try to hold this and turn it at the same time, but if you can't get it off, you may have to have somebody go inside and hold the inner tub and stop it from turning. Once you have the bolt out, you can pull the motor rotor off. It is a magnet in there, so it's going to stick to it, but just pull it out and it should come straight out. Then you can set it aside. We're in here to change the rotor position sensor switch, which is down at the bottom, but you can obviously see that there's lots of water damage, the bearing's falling apart, half a ball bearing is laying down here. All this is indications that the seal has gone bad and you need to change the seal in the bearings. Before we take the stator assembly off, we're going to take these 2 screws out to give us a little slack in these wires. So when we pull it down, we can get these connectors off. We're going to use our Phillips screwdriver and take them out. Now we can use our 10mm socket and go around and remove all the bolts that hold the stator assembly in. As you're taking this last one off, probably want to make sure you hold this in place so it doesn't fall off as you're loosening it up. Now that you have all the bolts out, we can take the assembly and rotate it down and disconnect these 2 wire harnesses from the switches. This one you need to squeeze and then disconnect. On this side you just have to press on the release and then disconnect it. Here's the old rotor position sensor switch next to the new one. If you already have one of these, great. If not, you can get it at AppliancePartsPros.com. We do have to take it off the stator, so we're going to take a small screwdriver and get behind this locking tab. Once we have that released, then we can lift up on the switch and rotate it back off the other 3 little tabs that lock it in place. To put the new rotor position sensor switch on, we're going to line those 3 tabs up with the 3 locking tabs here and rotate it down and snap it into place. Now we can put the stator assembly back into the washer. First we're going to hook up the rotor position sensor switch, make sure it locks into place. Then we're going to hook up the other wire harness, make sure that locks in. Then we can rotate the stator up and we're going to put the bolt in the top to hold it in place while we put in those lower wiring connector brackets. Alright, now that we have something to hold it in place, we can reattach the wires down below. We can put in this bracket and grounding screw. Now we can put the rest of the bolts in the stator. We're just going to go around, start them by hand, and then we can come around with our 10mm wrench and tighten them all down. Now that we have the rotor back on, we can put some blue thread sealer onto the bolt before we put it back in. And then we can use our 17mm socket to tighten it down. Remember, if it starts to spin, you can have somebody hold the inside of the tub so you can tighten it down tight enough. Now we can put the back panel on. All you have to do is line the tabs up in the bottom and then kind of flex it a little bit to get the tabs to go on the top. And then we can put the 4 screws back in with our Phillips screwdriver. Now that you're done repairing the appliance, you can plug it back in, turn the water back on, and give it a spin. Thanks for joining us for another successful repair brought to you by AppliancePartsPros.com. Check out our other repair videos on our site, Facebook, and YouTube.